Park, Hewitt Park, has a bathroom, has a lot of fountains, basketball court. It's amazing. I think Marysville, at least Marysville, should come up here and maybe do some scouting on how to put bathrooms in parks and actually have part of the most of the community feel comfortable coming. I digress. Hey, look, I ran into 2 Korean War vets. The first gentleman I met was early in the morning at the coffee shop. Awesome guy. We stumbled upon a lot in common, and someone I've never talked to that actually worked in the civilian workforce and delivered and designed missiles for the submarines I was on. But I ran into a gentleman who had tattooed on his neck, Blind Bob, wearing a Korean War hat. I talked to him at decent length until it was clear that he'd rather not be, by the quote of his own words, several swear words bothered, end of swear words. What was interesting though, he never physically was rude to me. I mean, he was rude to things that have happened to him. I mean, I am who I am. I mean, I'm a very peaceful, loving kind of guy. So he didn't direct any of it towards me, but he's a Korean War vet, probably mid-70s, maybe possibly late 70s. And he's been out here on the street for 5 years, and he's angry, dude. Dudes and dudettes, he is angry. And you know, I can't understand his anger other than seeing this poor gentleman. It looks like he might have been beaten up. He's actually using a walker, one of those little push walkers like this with his stuff on it. But he was complaining about being brought in for loitering over by Raley's twice and brought up on charges. And yeah, I don't know. It just made me really, really wonder about a community. I don't know, 78-year-old guy with a walker pulling him in for loitering. The other thing I'll say, and I love the community. I absolutely love it. But I am visual journalist. I have to say, this is the only town, the only one, I've been stopped not once, twice, dose, for absolutely not breaking the law. I have not actually physically in any other community had a cop address me at all, unless I shouldn't say doing anything wrong. Like the camping law is kind of like sitting on something, you know what I mean. I'm not out here drinking and driving, you know, doing drugs and stuff. The perfect homeless person, pretty close. But it was interesting. They came over to me. They pulled up in 2 squad cars. I'm reading the New Testament of the Bible. On my Kindle, I see these 2 cop cars coming up. And I kind of just, you know, like I have to do all the time. A lot of these homeless guys get all, oh, the cops. I'm kind of like, whatever, I'm not doing anything wrong. They come up. Guy goes, how much you been drinking and smoking today? And I'm like, I don't drink or smoke. So we had reports of people drinking and smoking and causing a problem over here. And I was sitting in this end of the park. The only people behind me were 220-some people who weren't drinking and smoking. They were just sitting there, you know, talking. But the rest of the park was deserted, so pretty much it looked like this. Looks like a false police report to me. And couldn't help but wonder later on whether that was just an impetus to kind of come over there and, you know, quote unquote, question me. I have a laugh, actually, from the stereotype and profiling industry. Kind of like if I didn't have a backpack and it didn't like, this homeless person backpack with bedroll at the bottom. It just makes me wonder if they wouldn't have profiled the 2 guys behind me or possibly never even driven over there. Anyway, then the last time, the second occurrence was like 45 minutes later. I was towards the end of the day at dusk when the park closed, and I was walking over to the Feather River Park, right on the Feather River, and I hear this, hey, yo! I kept walking, yo, you! I'm like, you know, my name's Bill. People yelling at me, whatever. I turn around, it's a cop talking like this. Almost ad-lib. We got one here. We got the homeless guy. He's down here at dusk. We got him. No, but I'm like, kind of come up really kind of peaceful with him, just kind of saying, I have no intention of physically camping here. And this is good, because that's why I'm talking to you. And I kind of mention what I'm doing, and I get a chuckle, man. I get a chuckle because the cops are just doing their job. But it is so interesting. Both cops that I've had this kind of conversation with, they want to deter you from being in their community because you're homeless. If I'd actually showed up saying, I'm a businessman from New York and I have $1 million, where could I actually go? They'd probably drive me to the Chamber of Commerce. You don't want to stay over there because you'll definitely get rolled. They'll take all your stuff. You know, you might be beaten up. You know, okay.